All right, Miss Olympia, show us your stuff. Very nice. This is why she's Miss Olympia, guys. There we are, a few years back. Where's my new picture, Jodi?
I'll get it to you. See, that's why I'm so busy.
I want it.
Okay.
Say how much you weigh, Jodi. I want to know how much you weigh now, how much you weigh for competition, and how much you weigh in your off season.
So I'm actually in off season right now, and I weigh 112.
112.
Right now.
Oh yeah, you did say how much you weigh. Okay.
112 to 114 in off season. I actually have a photo shoot later today, so I try to stay in shape. I competed,
Because of your photo shoots and your contracts and your guest appearances, etc., you have to stay pretty lean, right?
that and my vanity. I just don't. I want to wear the same size jeans that I can fit into for my shows. So
Right. I remember when I was competing, I would have 4 or 5 different wardrobes: one for competition, one for fat status, one for pre-contest.
No, I just have one wardrobe, and things are a little bit tighter, a little bit looser.
Yeah.
And I'm
And always
actually
looking great.
Oh, thank you. I'm like a 0 to a 00 all year long.
Do they even make that size?
They
Double
do.
zero? Okay.
They do. Not many places.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find like suits and stuff for work, so I have to dress a little differently.
Now,
But,
you said you're off season 114 now.
yeah.
What do you get on stage at?
So about 106. I get on
106.
stage,
So you hear that, guys? A lot of you natural bodybuilders are trying to pound the size on. You don't really have to get so much bigger in the off season to gain this kind of muscle maturity. This is Miss Olympia, guys. This is the girl. You need to listen to her. Excellent. Phenomenal.
11, Miss Natural Olympia up in Reno. Competed in that in November, the week before Thanksgiving.
And that
Couple
was
weeks before Thanksgiving.
that was definitely your most favorite competition, I'm sure.
It was just a great experience. The promoters and the owners of the organization, Denny and Diana Keikos, are just incredibly great to their athletes. The very next day after the show, they gave us they held a banquet and all-you-can-eat buffet for all of the.
I want to compete in that league.
Yeah, all of the competitors, and then they surprised a lot of competitors with awards, and I won the best presentation award, and that was even out of all the pro men, not just the pro women.
Nice.
So,
Probably some help from Big J years ago helped you win that.
yeah.
Nah,
Well,
not really.
I guess
I'm not that good of a poser.
Yeah, it was just something that I think my years of being in the galaxy and really learning stage presence, and I took a dance class, and I just treat, it's very important for me to ensure that female bodybuilding is seen as such. It is,
Right.
it's women on stage.
Well,
And
tell us
so-
this real quick, Jodi. Do you have a YouTube page?
I do not.
Do you have a
I have a website.
a website? Yes.
And
Plug
I have
that
a
in
Facebook
now.
fan page.
Okay.
So
Plug
my
that now.
website is www.jodileigh.com. That's
Spell that out.
JODILEIGH. It is under renovation. It will be up by the end of January. So definitely come by and visit. And then my Facebook fan page is, of course, facebook.com/Jodi Leigh Pro Athlete.
And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. There's a lot of beautiful pictures, posing, bikini, competition stuff. You've even got nutrition tips and training tips and everything. So hopefully you'll gain some more clients from this interview too.
Well, yeah, but really what I want is I want to. I know that being at the top of my game, I'm a role model to others, and I remember when I was in college and I saw a girl walk into the gym who was lean. I'm sure at this point in time she's probably similar to what I am now. But at the time I was like, wow. And I asked her, stopped her and said, what did you do to look like that? And I know that there are people who stop me now and ask me, or there are young girls who look at me and go, wow, one day I want to do that.
And it feels good to be a role model, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
and
It really
I just
does.
want to make sure that I'm doing the things that are indicative of a role model. And I also, I don't take on a whole bunch of clients. I'll write up plans, but because I also have a full-time career in education reform.
Yeah, talk about that real quick, Jodi. What do you do right now besides being the one bodybuilder in the Natural League that's number one?
So as many of my fans know, I used to be a high school English teacher. I have a degree in English and a lifetime secondary teaching certification. I work for a nonprofit organization in education reform, and I'm an instructional leader. So I basically train the teachers who are teaching new teachers.
Awesome.
And so really focused on teaching skills in high needs classrooms.
And that's the most important job in the world, guys. Teachers are our future.
Yes, yeah.
Nice, strict form. 10 sets of 10. She's got a little arch in her back, stretching all the way out and squeezing at the bottom. Great form, Jodi. What does your typical week look like? What is your training split? Like day one, you train this, day two, you train this?
I do legs on Mondays, heavy legs. I have a leg workout partner, and typically on those days I don't do cardio.
Okay.
I then typically take a day off after legs so that I can have some rest.
Everybody needs a day off after legs.
Yes. And then
Especially the way you train them.
and I change things up every 6 to 9 weeks in terms of the order, but typically I've got heavy back on one day, heavy shoulders on another day.
So legs,
chest,
back, and shoulders.
Chest, and I'll tend to put biceps or light shoulders on that day. Biceps and triceps, and I'll do light back so that the areas that I really want the growth, I'm training those twice a week.
Great information there.
And then my legs, I've found that I have to train them twice a week, one heavy day and then one very light but very high rep.
And real quick,
day.
Why do you do that?
It because otherwise my legs will get too bulky, and then I just found it really helps with the conditioning of my quads. I tend to hold most of my fat and water on the tops of my quads, and that's just a genetic thing. So,
and that's something that we discussed about 10 years ago, and it still holds true now. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Great deal. And how much cardio do you do a week on average?
In season, when I'm 4 weeks out from a show, I'm doing an hour and a half of
Did you
cardio
say when
a
you're
day.
bored?
No, in season when I'm 4 weeks out.
Oh, 4 weeks out. I thought you said when you're bored. I
No.
never do cardio when I'm bored, I promise.
And then off season, I try to only do 45 to 50 minutes of cardio a day, like 5 times a week, but sometimes I get a little, I don't know.
Bored?
No,
All
just
right, guys.
like
You got to do your cardio.
Like the typical girl, I do too much cardio sometimes because I want to stay in shape. So
Understandable.
yeah.
Okay, and then real quick, let's talk about your nutrition on an average day to keep you looking as great as you look now. What's your average day?
I always start the day off with egg whites and typically oatmeal.
For 114 pounds, how many egg whites do you eat?
6 to 7 egg whites.
Yeah, and that's a lot. A lot of you guys don't eat enough, and you're 200 pounds. You're questioning why you're not growing.
Yeah.
She eats 6 or 7 at 114 pounds.
And that's just 1 out of 6 meals a day.
Okay,
so
let's go on.
And then I'll have another egg white oatmeal meal later on in the day, but I'll have 5 to 6 ounces of chicken, fish, steak, whatever it is. In the off season, I'll have steak almost every day, some sort of red meat.
Sounds like a familiar diet.
Yeah. And then in the off season, I try to vary up my carbs so that when I come back to in season, I stick with red potatoes and oats in season, but off season, I'll get in some sweet potatoes, purple potatoes, gold potatoes, brown rice.
Okay, before we were cut off, the video was full, so I had to delete some of my crazy workouts. But you were talking about the potatoes and the brown rice.
So I've always found, whether it's in me or other competitors, that brown rice, you tend to hold water. And so to me, brown rice is a good off-season complex carbohydrate, but not a good in-season complex carb.
Good information, Jodi.
So, and that's just, not everybody is the same. So, like, I've got a best friend who she will fat load with natural peanut butter. And
Love natural peanut butter. Great source of protein, guys, and fat.
yeah, but I personally can't do it because I just don't do well with fats unless it's animal fat. So I carb load for shows on simple sugars, like
Right.
jelly beans.
And everybody is different, guys.
Yeah.
What she's talking about is strictly for her. Now, some of the stuff can work for you, but some of the stuff will not be enough or be too much for you guys. So don't start asking the questions, well, I did that and it didn't work for me.
Yeah, everybody's very, very different. You have to learn your body, and I've had a lot of different trainers over the years, and I've driven every single one of them. Jason, you can attest to this. I've driven them crazy with the questions I have. Why? Why are you doing this? Why did you
I don't remember
change
you
it?
driving me crazy.
Yeah, but I always ask
Why?
because it's my body.
Yeah.
And I also come with my education background. I have the philosophy of that an individual should be able to do something on their own. And a lot of trainers will treat things like they won't spill all the secrets because they're afraid of losing their clients. And it's important
Or
for
their
me-
clients beating them on stage.
Yeah.
Which was not our case. But
No,
you know,
well, 'cause
honestly,
I'm a girl and-
I learned a lot from you while I was training you. You helped me develop my education better for the next clients that I had in the future, and actually taught me a lot for myself because I was competing along with you a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a very good technique for a lot of you guys are personal trainers that watch this channel. You've got to pay attention to what she's saying because you cannot know it all, and I still don't know it all. Well, that concludes today's interview with the 2011 Miss Natural Olympia, Jodi Miller. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate your support. Go check out her fan page on YouTube and her website that she mentioned earlier in the video. And make sure and watch it and pay attention. She does give you a lot of good information. So I guess the next time you guys see a video will be with Big Play Ray next week. I'm going to go work out with him. I might throw one in between there before then because I know a week's a long time to wait for another video. But remember, guys, intensity rules, train hardcore, and we'll see you next video.